Well, folks, it's 2:30 on a Sunday morning, and there's always time for Wall of Feel. Now, I can see my balding a wee bit more because of the lighting that we're dealing with here. But I'll tell you a quick story of how I got bald in the first place. When your mum and I have sex together, she sometimes sits on my head, rocks back and forth, and her toxic queefs have actually burnt some of my hair back. Now let's get on to why I'm doing this video. It's hopefully to stand up and stick a middle finger up at ignoramus. Right. So I was coming home on my bike, and as part of the A82 between the town and my house, that cyclists can't use the road because the road speed is too fast, and the actual roads are that busy, it would actually cause a lot of hazard and risk of being struck. So the police say you can be on the pavement, but you have to take it very careful, and that's absolutely fine. I go by their advice, right? And coming along, probably about 1:45 in the morning, there's this group of about 7 university goers, right? And there's one female, and she said, "I'm not fucking letting him by. He should be on the road," and kind of going down the kind of activist type road, like for the Extinction Rebellion. And after about 40 seconds, the fens will actually disperse and let me through. And I said thanks to the guy who initiated it. Right, quite tall guy, decent guy, etc. And she started calling me mate. And I said I'd rather go and fight Russia with Ukraine than be your mate. In fact, I'd rather take a gun and blam it right through my skull than have anything to do with you. And for a person that is not a lawyer, for a person who has no connection to the law, she's probably got charges and convictions, but ultimately we're not going to go there. Hashtag slander. But anyway, she was kind of verbally remonstrate with me, and I said to her, I only get my law advice from lawyers and the police only. And her reply was like, how could you get law advice from lawyers and the police? And to answer that question, I do know 2 friend and family members that are actual lawyers, and because of where I stay, you can start getting to know the police. And as I said previously, I got advice from the police. It was about a year ago, and very straightforward. And once you get advice, you apply it straight away, right? They know what they're doing. They know what they're saying. That's the end of the matter. And I just turned around and said to her, I only get all advice from police or lawyers. And I'm like, how do you get law advice from lawyers? And it's like, in my case, contact them. Same with Police Scotland, right? And at that point, because the way the conversation was going, somebody belched something ignorant. This is why I want to do the Wall of Fame. One of their male pals, I believe it was the lesser of the two, lesser of the taller of the two, right? Because there's 2 mates who were male. It was the lesser. It says, here, just leave him alone. He's got autism or something. He's got a helmet on, right? Obviously not using such earthy Glaswegian accent. you know, that kind of slight fake American accent, and it's like, I'll show you the helmet. There it is. I'll show the incriminating item upon my head. Right? So that guy's argument is because I contrasted their opinions, I'm autistic, or they're thinking I have autism because I decide to wear a helmet while I'm cycling. Well, whatever one of which is extremely fucking ignorant and not very woke at all, to be honest. It's absolutely pitiful, to be fair. Absolutely pitiful. Right? I mean, is this guy wired wrong? Right? Because if I was autistic to the point where I was needing a head device, I wouldn't be slopping around the streets of Glasgow at about 1:30, 1:45 on a Sunday morning, unaided and unchaperoned. It's absolutely fucking stupid. He clearly is an ignorant cunt, and the level of his ignorance is people who have autism wear the hat. To be honest, no autistic people wear the hat. The crash helmet that has been seen in medical stuff through the telly and stuff like that get given to people have seizure disorders that are so severe there's a good risk of them smashing their own heads in. So his wording again is completely fucking ignorant. It's disgusting, and it could actually be viewed as a disability aggravated breach of the peace. Not at any point did I swear at him. It was just they didn't like being contrasted, and you know, just looking at her behaviour, they were already pissed. But the thing I want to really dig into, first of all, woke. Yes. Right, woke's a waste of time. It's a hypocritical waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. Now, on the topic of woke, universities used to provide education about a certain topic. So if you're going about law, they provided law education. If you were wanting to go to university for veterinary, then you only got veterinary. But now these universities up and down the country and probably throughout Europe are now woke indoctrination facilities. Right? You will get a 50-50 between your chosen subject and woke, social justice, and all of that crap that seems to be truly, utterly trivia. You know, looking at these people, I mean, this person is so clued up in law. She is giving advice to strangers at 1:45 in the morning. Is she fucking nuts? You don't, you know, at about 1:45, 2 o'clock in the morning, first of all, you don't talk to strangers, and you certainly don't do it up the West End. And you don't call somebody you've never met, mate. And you certainly do not call people you've never met in your life autistic. Autism, it's a very serious matter. You know, lots of people have themselves up on the spectrum, and it doesn't matter what end of the spectrum an autism person that identifies themselves as autistic, it doesn't matter what end of the spectrum they're on, you fucking respect them. Right? Maybe getting out of the house active was fucking really bad, difficult for him. You've got to just give them a little bit of respect. But we'll switch back to the kind of student / hipster clique of 7, right? I was shocked at their lack of intellect. See, if I was truly autistic, I would be having communicational challenges. I would be having challenges even operating the bike. I would be having challenges in some capacity, mild, medium, or severely. But I am absolutely shocked and appalled, to be fair. A guy who has never knew me in any context prior gave me an autism diagnosis based on nothing apart from ignoramia. It's absolutely disgusting and abhorrent. Just because I'm wearing a helmet and or I contrast their opinions. It's absolutely disgusting. Scotland tries to pride itself on being a woke country, a tolerant country, against all forms of injustice. Kind of same kind of run as in the woke narrative. Yet you've got these fucking dunderheads stoating around the streets, trying to strum up conversation with randoms who've never met before about law, and then calling them autistic when they get the conversation slapped back in their face. I think that is ridiculous. It's beyond horrible. I mean, through my life, from probably about 5 or 6 years old, at least 10 different points between 6 years old and current day, I have been referred as autistic or spastic. Oh, I said a naughty word. No, it's been used in demonstration purposes. Fair use. Suck it. Anyway, I just find that just absolutely disturbing and distasteful. That kind of language being used towards somebody that has never been met before. You know, this female started blockading the pavement. If I was really wanting to be an arsehole about it, I could get her done for entrapment actually. But ultimately, one, I don't know the address, and also 2, 7 against 1 never works out well. The reason I wanted to do the video was to actually expose the utter lack of intellect and contempt for their fellow human being, and describing my horror. Apparently Glaswegian people think if you wear a helmet when you're cycling, you're handicapped, disabled, and that's fucking ridiculous. 1, that's a hate crime, and 2, that is actually a protective device. So heaven forbid I get involved in an accident, it could potentially save my life. And in some parts of Scotland and the UK, if you don't have a helmet whilst you're cycling around, you get your bike confiscated. So I'm in a tramway meme. Ever see these tramway memes on the internet? Right, I could either go appease the public but piss off the police, or appease the police and get accosted by the public. It's a difficult one, but I just wanted to get this documented and up on YouTube ASAP. People just never cease to amaze me, especially Glaswegians. They're the ones cutting about using terms like refugee and SJW and stuff like that, but They couldn't even keep a civil tongue in the head. Hypocrites, pricks.